Oh, hey, this is Mark Ruggiero from Clark Commando 1983, your wargaming channel to learn how to play games. And I'm watching No Enemies Here, one of the best channels around. Enjoy.
The home of Mary and Tom and dinosaurs, HOLLANDSPIELE, District Commander Maracas. Volume 1, Virtualia 2019, designed by Brian Train. It's counterinsurgency coming to HOLLANDSPIELE? Why, yes, it is. And what you get with this game is a 17 by 22 inch map sheet, 264 counters, 2 display sheets, 1 player aid, 16-page series rulebook, an 8-page module rulebook, and 8 strategy cards. High-flying dice and breaking the ice, the Great Lakes Winter Fleet, 1942. This is a game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh. What you get with this game are 2 11 by 17 inch maps, 241 double-sided counters and markers, a player's aid, 24 playing cards, and 1 rulebook. GMT and Red Storm, the air war over central Germany, 1987, a game designed by Douglas Bush. The system design is by Lee Brimicum-Wood, and the art is by Antonis Karidis. Get with this game are 5 full-color counter sheets, 2 22 by 34 inch full-color maps, 3 aircraft data cards, 5 player aid cards, appendices booklet, rules booklet, scenario booklet, 2 log sheets, and 2 10-sided dice. Complexity is high, solitaire suitability is medium-high. Lee Birmingham-Wood's Wing Leader Expansion Number 2, Wing Leader, Eagles, 1943 to 1945. What you get with this game is 1 campaign rules and scenario book, 1 11 by 17 inch campaign map, 1 counter sheet, 3 sheets of aircraft data cards, 1 campaign player aid sheet. Complexity is medium, solitaire suitability is medium-high. Compass Games, New Directions in Gaming. Nemesis Volume 1, The Little Land, Battle for Novorossiysk. What you get with this game is 2 22 by 34 inch maps, 8 counter sheets, 1 rule booklet, 1 scenario booklet, 9 player aids, 2 D10s, and a box and a lid. Complexity is 7 out of 10, solitaire suitability is 8 out of 10, the time scale 2 hours per game turn, the map scale 500 meters per hex, unit scale is company and platoon. This is a 1 to 2 player game, playing time is 2 to 35 hours, the designer is Adam Starkweather, the artist is Antonio Pinan. Lock and Load Publishing's Trial of Strength, 2nd edition, a game designed by Dave O'Connor. This is an East Front strategic game set during World War II. And what you get with this game is 1 color map, 41 by 61, 880 plus counters, 1 rulebook, 6 player aids, 4 player aids of 8 by 11, 2 10-sided dice, a heavy-duty box, and 2 D10s. Complexity is 7 out of 10, solitaire suitability is 5 out of 10. This is a 16 plus age group game. This is a 1 to 4 player game. Time is 5 to 50 hours. The scale, 3 turns per month, 45 miles per hex. Units are corps and armies. And the winner of the Warfighter World War II by DVG, and Dan throws in a couple of expansions, is Mark Flanagan from Scotland. Here he is.
Hi, this is Mark from Scotland. Just like to say a huge thank you to Dan Picalby from No Enemies Here and Dan Verson for sending me a copy of Warfighter World War II edition. Can't wait to get into the system, get to grips with it. Fantastic prize. You've made a grumpy Scotsman very happy indeed. Some nice expansions. And Airborne expansion, nice, and of course some zombies. So thanks again, Dan. Really appreciated. Just like to raise a toast to No Enemies Here. All the best. Keep up the good work. Slange.
And here we go with another week of what's happening in the world of wargaming. GIMPY continues his Warfighter playthrough Zombies Part 7. Also, GIMPY has a shellacking's worth of videos. The World at War 85 Bootcamp. He has direct fire basics, direct fire example, combat results 11A, 11B, and 11C. Also, GIMPY continues and finalizes Warfighter Zombies, a game published by DVG. GIMPY's gal is back and she guesses Nuclear Winter 68 and its expansion, published by Lock and Load Publishing. And the Player's Aid are unboxing The Devil's to Pay from Tiny Battle Publishing from the Dream Team designer Herman Luttman, and check out that Rick Barber map. Check it out. Alexander is the one who's kicking off this unboxing, and he's speaking softly. Must be because the kitties are asleep. Because usually he's a loudmouth schnook. Love the guy. You know, it's Friday, and this is my final editing day for tomorrow's show. And you know, here comes the 11th hour, and the Player's Aid have to slap in another video. So I've got to extend music, I've got to fit it in, and you know, these guys, I love these guys, okay? I just want to say something. But you know something? Like, these are the type of guys that, you know, you're at your convenience store and you're working there, and it's, you close at 5, right? So it's 4:59. So you're putting the key in to close the door, and there they are banging at the door saying, please, I gotta get some milk. What are you gonna say? Here's the milk. The Player's Aid are unboxing a Hold the Line American Civil War game from Worthington Publishing. This is a game designed by Grant and Mike Wiley. Also, the gentlemen are reviewing at Gen Con Cataclysm from GMT with 2 special guests. Also, the gentlemen are giving you a debriefing of the Buckeye Game Fest in Columbus, Ohio. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer gives us a review of Victory World War II, a game published by Columbia Games, designed by Tom Dalgleish. OG, the original Grognard, Devin, does a playthrough of NATO Air Commander Part 1 and 2. This is a game published by HOLLANDSPIELE, designed by Brad the Man Smith. Marco Wargamer Arnaudo reviews Kernstown, the first Kernstown in 1862 and the second Kernstown in 1864. These are 2 clashes from the American Civil War, Volume 4. A game published by Revolution Games and designed by Claude Whalen. ARDWULF gives us an after-action report of the Buckeye Game Fest 2019. And more importantly than an after-action report at the Buckeye Game Fest 2019, the loot he got at the Buckeye Game Fest 2019. Oh! of Mo's Game Table does an unboxing of Front Towards Enemy from MMP, a game designed by Joe Chacon. You know, I just can't shut up. I gotta, Mo, ARDWULF, bloody hell. It's an early Christmas at Mo's Game Table. Mo is doing a giveaway of Lock and Load Publishing's Heroes of Normandy, the Untold Stories expansion. It's a giveaway, people. He's giving it away at no cost to you. Check it out. A man armed with just his camera and his game, with no frills, no chills. I don't know. Bare Bones Wargaming does a playthrough of Ryan Heilman and David Shaw's Brave Little Belgium, a game published by HOLLANDSPIELE. Academy Games and the beautifully coiffed Uwe Eichert in his V Gates Uwe number 8. Watch as Uwe shows you how he packs his game away after a gaming session. Thank you, Uwe. And the guys at Little Wars TV are giving us a history lesson of Horatio Nelson's smashing victory at Trafalgar. And they're doing that while in their sailboat on a sea. Actually on the lake, but that's very immersive regardless. Rough Swordman Wargamer continues his new to solo wargaming. Try Corsair Leader by DVG, the Rabal campaign, part 1, a playthrough of DVG's, as I said, Corsair Leader. BLASTPOP pulls out the classics in his Classic Rewind and Review, a classic game by Frank Chadwick, Crimea, The Dawn of Modern Warfare, designed by Frank Chadwick, published by Game Designers Workshop. Rob the Strongman Orin has a video out on Bolt Action Korea. The Wargamer continues his Hurtgen, Hell's Forest, playthrough and instructional video. He has 3 videos out this week, 1 and 2 being Introductions 1 and 2, and the third one being Special German Rules. And Jan Heinemann is continuing his Fields of Glory Empires number 34. Let's Play History is his channel. And this time, all I can read, because it's in German, is Epirus. So must be the Battle Island of Epirus. Edward of Heavy Cardboard is teaching us how to play a game called Quebec. This game is designed by Philippe Baudouin and Pierre Poisson-Marquis, published by Le Scorpion Masqué.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
Let's take a little ride to Quebec. Today, I'm your tour and history guide. I hope I get the history right and the tour. But anyways, you'll see some pictures and some nice music. Quebec was a military outpost, and Jacques Cartier sailed down the St. Lawrence River in 1533. Think about that. But even before that, there was an Italian guy. The Italian guys are always in there. Giovanni di Verrazzano. In 1524, he sailed to New Brunswick before even going to New York. But forget New York. I'm talking about Quebec here. New Brunswick. Because if you're touching New Brunswick, it's on the mainland with Quebec. Us North Americans, we think we're so hot poop You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're modern this and modern that, and we've got history. History! My mother's house in Italy is 800 years old. That's her house! This is frontier town, man. 1534, France claimed North America. Yeah, North America, the New France, la Nouvelle France. 1608, Samuel de Champlain made Quebec City the capital of North America. And they built forts here and there because those pesky English, were coming around. So in 1759, the Frenchmen's got a shellacking from the British. And that's why I speak English today. Je parle français aussi, mais... So all things changed in North America. And to show you how far France or the Frenchmen's went, Louisiana. Louisiana. That's the way we pronounce it. But you know what? It was French. It still is French, actually. It's called La Louisiane. And New Orleans is La Nouvelle-Orléans. Huh? St. Louis. St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Huh? So I'm gonna shut up now and I'll show you some pics. And you know what? I got something else. You know when your significant other says, "Oh, honey, I always wanted to go to France and Europe. Let's go to France, honey. Let's save up our money for 10 years. Because the euro is even more expensive than the American dollar." Yeah. So why go there? Come to Quebec. You got Montreal. You got Chambly. This is France, man. And you know what? Your money, you get 30% on the dollar. So your dollar is worth like $1 million. And don't worry, you're going to be treated just as rudely as you would be in France. But you know what? Give me a call and ask if we can play a game. Got a little disclaimer here. So before you come to Quebec, choose your dates properly. Because if you come here in the dead of winter, because it's gorgeous. I mean, Quebec in winter is beautiful. The white snow, the old buildings, tra-ta-tri-ta-ta-ta. But I don't think you understand how cold it gets here. I try to explain to some people how cold it gets. So this is an example of how cold it gets, and I am not exaggerating. You look outside, minus 35 degrees Celsius. That's probably not even including the wind chill. We have something called the wind chill, because when the wind blows, it's colder, right? Whatever. So, you get all dressed nice and warm, and your scarf and all that, And you open the door, and you take your first breath of that cool morning air, and all the mucus in your nose freezes up. Like, it's freezing. And you gotta keep blinking, or else the liquid in your eyes is gonna freeze up. That's how cold it gets. You don't believe me? Come over. But on another note, if you do come here during the winter, some people enjoy winter, in Quebec that is, we have what's called the Carnival of Quebec. And during that time we have the Ice Hotel and the Ice Castle. Now, I'm not talking about a little ice castle. I'm talking about an ice castle. Huge. And your hotels? Incredible. A thing of beauty. And look at this. This is your bar, where you have cocktails, or whatever. And at the bar, even your shot glasses are made out of ice. And this is your restaurant. Everything's made out of ice. Well, you better reserve a few years in advance and have a little bit of cashews, because it's beautiful, but it ain't cheap. Matt White, illustrator and artist, who does stuff like this, and like this, and this too, has a video out where he reviews and takes a look at Albuera 1811, designed by David Kershaw, published by White Dog Games. You want to know what's happening on the big board? I'll tell you what's happening on the big board. Kevin, CEO, big man, president for life, is taking turn 2 of MMP's game designed by Dean Essick called Brazen Chariots, Battles for Tobruk.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of war game review institutions. The first game we will be reviewing on our website this week is from High Flying Dice Games. It's Mud, Blood, and Steel. It's a game about the Iran-Iraq War, a specific battle actually, but I can't pronounce the name of the battle. The first game we'll be doing a first look at on our YouTube channel is the Battle of Agincourt from Games Designer Workshop. It's from 1978. Looks pretty interesting. It's got crude components and stuff and a short rule book, but looks like it should be fun. Hopefully it turns out to be a good game. We'll also be doing a playthrough on our website of Bloody Unlikely from Against the Odds magazine. It was like a one-page freebie they included, I think, in an issue in 2011. I got it. It came with another game from the same author, but it's just a one-page game. It's real simple. It's a real dicey game, but we'll do a playthrough of it so you can see what it looks like. Hope to see you guys soon on our website and on our YouTube channel. Have a good evening.
Hi, I'm John Paniski, author of King Philip's War, Blood on the Ohio, and the Plains Indian Wars. I'd like to introduce you to my latest design, Pontiacs Uprising, soon to be on Compass Games pre-order list. I'll give you the history, show you the map, the other components, and review the mechanics. Forewarning, what you're about to see are playtest materials. Pontiac's Rebellion, or Pontiac's War, took place between 1763 and 1766. It followed hard on the heels of the French and Indian War, which ended in 1763. Thanks to Indian resentment over French surrender of their lands and the harsh policies of General Geoffrey Amherst, Governor General of British North America, 20-plus Indian nations rose up under the charismatic leadership of the Ottawa sachem Pontiac and the Lenape holy man Neolin. When the powder smoke cleared, 450 British soldiers and countless Indians had lost their lives. 2,000 settlers were either killed or captured, and 4,000 more displaced. Moreover, Britain's foreign conflicts had put the crown 140 million pounds in debt. These expenses led directly to a series of unpopular taxes in North America, and they in turn led to the American Revolution. Pontiac's Uprising attempts to recreate the reaction of Indian leaders in British mishandling of frontier politics and the impending colonial crisis that it presaged. Building on the point-to-point system and loose Indian alliances that we used in King Philip's War and Blood on the Ohio, this design expands frontier conflict using battle cards to introduce combat chaos, British expenditure on troops, uncertain Indian arms supply, siege rules, the capture of prisoners, French interference, and English trader interference. The game offers 5 short introductory scenarios, 15 to 30 minutes long, 3 one-year campaign scenarios, about 2 hours long, and 1 3-year grand campaign, 5 to 6 hours long. Although it was not designed as a solitaire game, it is solitaire friendly. Let me walk you through the components. First we have the rule book, the scenario book, the
the Indian Nation Activation Chart, which is an optional rule. And then there is the two-sided player aid. The first side gives the basic rules and the combat sequence, and on the flip side are various examples. The British counters. We have the leaders and the various types of troops: regulars, Royal Americans, and the Black Watch. You will notice that on one side is their strength, and on the flip side is their disruption value. Raised village counters, British loans, treaty counters, vessels, supply, artillery, and the British Great Lakes allies. There are two off-map force cards, one British, one Indian, and a variety of off-map siege cards. Indian counters, the blue counters you see to the right are the Wabash Confederacy nations. War belts, the two major figures, Pontiac and Neolin, siege counters, the major tribes, Shawnee, Ottawa, Miami, Ojibwe, Lenape, and the Seneca. And finally, raised settlement counters and raised fort counters. Pontiac's Uprising contains two 53-card decks, one Indian, one British. Players hold a 5-card hand, one of which is a bluff card, and prior to every battle, players each commit and reveal a card. The British deck also contains a phase sequence, British events, and British trader cards. Traders played a key role in the conflict, acting as suppliers, advisors, and spies. Attack repelled is a typical British event. The British deck also has two historical events that will be removed, 9 of its own Oh No cards, 2 each of Highlander Ferocity and Royal American Tenacity cards, which increase the effectiveness of those specific units. 2 die roll gambling cards, which reflect the uneven assistance offered by British traders. 1 reshuffle card and a bluff card, offering relief from the overwhelming hand of Oh No cards. Although I did not show it, the Indian deck does contain its own bluff card. The Indian deck contains a phase sequence, Indian events, actual events that occurred during the conflict, and French influence cards. These latter cards may involve the French administration or French traders, many of whom actively supported the Indians during the conflict. The reinforcement card is a typical Indian event. Each deck contains 2 historical events that are removed from play after being activated. The Indian deck has 9 Oh No cards, cards that have a negative effect on the player but must be played or cost the player a VP if held at the end of the scenario. Cards with a green die reflect the uncertainty of Indian arms supplies. Also, 2 shuffle the deck cards act as a foil to card counters. So let me take you on a tour of the map. The victory points, Indian and British. Indian deck space. The Indian coalition. The first nations were those of the Wabash Confederacy. At the top of the map are the raised fort tracks and the arms track, both having to do with the Indian player. How the Indian earns arms points, primarily from taking forts. The turn track, 3 years, 3 seasons each, separated by a short winter interlude. The raisings box, where the raising counters are held for destroying settlements, villages, and forts. The treaty space for the treaty counters in removing Indians from the coalition. The Bank of England, where the British player will borrow money to keep their troops active. Philadelphia, the British card space, how the British earn victory points. As we pass over the map, you will see at the top the phase sequence and how the British receive British reinforcements after taking their loans. The map shows point-to-point movement, nation spaces indicating villages. The red spaces are forts. The number within them is their strength. The black star spaces showing a tomahawk are historic sites. Those red spaces with flames are forts that fell to the Indians. The diamond spaces, bordered in red, are British settlements. At the bottom of the map are the 2 victory points, where we started. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you get a chance to try out Pontiac's Rebellion. See you next time.
Phalanx.
One Small Step Games, and Mark McLaughlin's War and Peace. This is a historical game recreating the vast European conflict known as the Napoleonic Wars. And the projected contents of this game is one large mounted map board in two 22 by 34 inch sections, 4 mounted and die-cut full-cut counter sheets, 1 book of rules fully updated and illustrated, a scenario book, a grand campaign book, an operational methods book, 3 panel charts table folder, 1 force pool display, 2 leader displays, dice, and a game box. Worthington Publishing and Shiloh, April 6th to 7th, 1862. Volume 2 in the Civil War Brigade Battle Series. Refight the Battle of Shiloh with the classic hex and counter game, playable in 3 hours. What you get with this game is a large 22 by 33 inch mounted game board, 4 punched counter sheets, and rulebook and playbook plus 2 10-sided dice and 2 player aids. Draco Ideas has a Kickstarter launching September 17th at 4 p.m. local time. A game called Yohei! Yohei is a skirmish game born from the combination of Japanese folkloric mysticism and its heroic deeds, combining die rolling, modular boards, and card management to immerse yourself in battles fought by the warriors of your troops. HOLLANDSPIELE's The Mary and Tom Show, episode 87, where Tom has a hard time distinguishing Mondays and Tuesdays, and Mary corrects him. RockCon 2019, October 25th to October 27 at the Tabala Event Center, 7910 Newburgh Road in Rockford, Illinois. Thanks to Greg Johnson, one of my patrons, for giving me this info. And you know what, Greg? Thanks for giving the info. And for that, I'm going to put up some pics of what RockCon looks like. Let's rock on with RockCon! Kansas City War Game Festival. It's called Historic Kansas City or Historic KC Fest in Kansas City, Overland Park Convention Center, June 26th to the 28th in the year 2020. The San Diego Historical Game Convention, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2019. At the Handerly Hotel, 950 Hotel Circle North, San Diego, California. Compass Games, New Direction in Gaming. Compass Games Expo 2019 from November 8th to the 11th at the Red Line Hotel in Cromwell, Connecticut. Board Game Geek, BGG, Fall, 20 to 24th of November 2019 at the Hyatt Regency in Dallas, Texas. Eh oui, une autre semaine, un autre épisode. J'aimerais savoir, est-ce qu'il y a des amis de la France, de Marseille? That's my French accent from France, from the region of Marseille. I didn't do it too good, but the Québécois accent, well, the Québécois version of what I just said is, ben, un autre épisode, une autre semaine, tu sais, salut à mes chums québécois. That's the difference between Québécois French and French from France. Anyways, another week, another show. This was a funny show. I laid it on a little bit. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to Greg Johnson for giving me that information. Please like, subscribe. Please support this channel. And you know what? I'll see you next week. I think next week I got something special. I don't even know what it is because I'm so dafted. Alors, au revoir! Salut! Ciao! See you later. This is a game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh and yeah. You want to know what's happening on Big Orm? You want to know what's... You know, I'm thinking about something here. This is going to be a short one, you know? It always goes back to Kevin Sharp. You know, the guy. He's knowledgeable, good-looking man, you know, good-looking family. The reason why I know that is because I'm his Facebook friend. I mean, you should friend Kevin. He's very verbal, and you know, he takes shots at me. I mean, I take shots at him, but you know, he digs a little deeper. You know, but thank God I'm secure in my masculinity, unlike Kevin Sharp. He's more secure in his femininity. But let's not go there, okay? It's another matter. But check him out on Facebook, and you'll see our banter. And then other people, like Mark Kalina, BLASTPOP, he gets it too, you know? He likes to take a few shots. You know what I'm saying, Mark? Huh? BLASTPOP! I know where you live, brother. Anyways, rant. What's going on here? Oh, yeah. So, this is happening, all right? It's gonna happen because it happened last year. So, pretty soon I'm gonna be putting up, probably in a month and a half or so, Grognard of the Year. People's Choice Grognard of the Year. And I'm gonna start by saying I'm full of myself here. No for me, because it's a conflict of interest. So, you know what I'm saying? I can't even believe I put myself in Grognard status. I mean, here's another. Kevin's gonna go crazy on this. Anyways, whatever, I said it. And I'm doing something new also. People's Choice Designer of the Year. Oh yeah. I wanted to do Game of the Year, but look, I'm alone here. I'm not like the gentlemen at the Players Aid where they help each other out. You know what I'm saying? I'm alone here. I do everything by myself. Okay? And, yeah, I was going to do People's Choice Game of the Year, but there's too many categories and subcategories. Now, you know what? If someone out there in interweb land has a way where we can do this without it being too logistically of a nightmare, and without having people screaming at me, why didn't you put this category or that category? If someone out there knows how to do this, please get in touch with me, because I'll gladly do the work. Not too much work. I'll gladly do the work, and maybe the next year we'll have a People's Choice Game of the Year. I don't know, World War II category, Napoleonics, ancients. You see, like, modern. You see where it gets, like, you know, lots of. So, that's basically it. That's the info. What games am I playing? None. I'm too busy doing this. I love doing this, by the way. So what am I doing? I'd rather rag on Kevin. What can I say? And that's it. I'm going mushroom hunting again today. We picked some shaggy parasols, which are choice mushrooms, and choice are expensive. And you can't get choice mushrooms at the grocery store. You know why? Because nobody goes out and picks it. That's all. So you get that crap, those button mushrooms, and ooh, the really good ones, you think those are the portobello. They're the same as the button mushrooms. They're just grown later in life. It's the same mushroom. Come on. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled again. All right. Also, another guy who took a shot at me, but he's very gentle about it. Tom Russell. Nice guy. Sweetheart of a guy. Took a shot. And then he doesn't apologize. He says it's all in good fun. I'll see you soon, Tommy. Have a nice week, people. Yeah, I forgot. I got this feather in my cap this week. I'm very proud of it. I know it doesn't mean much to 99% of the watchers over here, but I'm proud. Thank you.